All right, good afternoon. We have another tournament game for you, this time a matchup between the Chesterfield Falcons and the Yellowjackets from Chicago, the Pee Wee Central State's Prospects 2 team. This is another Louisville Slugger hockey tournament game by Big Bear, held in Louisville, Kentucky, here at the Iceland Sports Complex South Rink. Earlier this morning, the Falcons defeated the Spiders 6-3, and the Yellowjackets, in their respective tournament game, won 4-1 over the Flyers. And so these are the two victors from earlier today. They'll face off, and we'll see if this is a potential pre-championship match. The Yellowjackets on the season are 7-10-3, forcing 63 goals and allowing 76. That's the end of the warm-up period. Falcons on the season are 13-3-0, forcing 75 goals and allowing 31. Falcons are 5-0-0 on the regular season, just for their standard division. And so we will bring our players out to center ice and have our first face-off. And we've got Gorham with the smooth, clear cage. Lurk, Bryant, Harrison, and Masterson all on the ice. It'll be Harrison and Bryant on wing, Masterson and Lurk back on defense. And we'll see if the closing game strategy is to smother the puck on the boards. That's yet to be determined. We'll see if that continues to play out. Number 17, Brookbank, will face off against Gorham. That's the opening draw. Falcons take it. It's Harrison who was trying to squeeze through past the ref, but lost it to number 14, Orlak. Orlak pokes it down deep. Now Falcons find themselves in their own defensive zone, but back in the hands of Harrison. Harrison passed to Bryant. Bryant and Harrison on the attack. Gorham just behind. Harrison, actually that was lost, and caught by Lurk. Lurk, centering pass over to Gorham, couldn't connect. Now Bryant with a shot off the skate of one of the Yellowjackets. Now Masterson. Pressure and sent up ahead to Bryant. Bryant will get a little bit of contest. Gorham in the opposite corner as he looks to gain control. Past Harrison, now to Lurk on the perimeter. Past Lurk and into the neutral zone. It's Masterson who collects it. Masterson spinning around. Pressure from behind by number 15. And good pressure there by number 15. That's Padula. Masterson stretching his stick out, trying to gain the puck back. Now it's in the hands of Legrand. Legrand firing it down low. Walkenhorst and Benton now in on a line change. Denny and Beck back on defense. And number 4, Anderson, with possession as he was looking to carry it through. But it's Weber who intercepts Denny's pass. Weber over, and Beck deflected. Now it's back on the side. 81 with a shot. That's going to go wide. 11:21 on the clock here. Now the Yellowjackets with their attempt to pour in a couple more shots. But it's Beck down low. He'll wrap it around, and Legrand will grab it on the boards. Legrand trying to clear it out, but kept in by the Yellowjackets. Now Beck. Now Legrand. Legrand keeps it. He'll fire a pass over toward Benton. Now to Walkenhorst. Walkenhorst with a potential trick, but not called. Walkenhorst grabs that puck. Fires it back down low. Now in the hands of number 17, that was Brookbank for the Yellowjackets trying to exit, but Masters picked it off. Masters looking for a shot, but pressured by two white jerseys. And Brookbank with a stick from Beck, loses it. Now Newport. Newport will dump it in. Falcons on the forecheck. It's Masters. Actually, this is Mickley. Lurkin, he tried to get a shot from the point. And now it may be that's Schmidt, as he had a little bit of time and space, but he was unable to gather it and get a shot off. Now it's the Yellowjackets in the neutral zone as they attempt to carry it back forward. Lurk collects that pass by the Yellowjackets. Lurk pass ahead to Newport, but they can't connect. Sankiewicz up ahead, but it's deflected and picked up by Lurk. Now it's a 3-on-2. Lurk, Masters, Newport, all on the attack. Lurk spinning around, and Mickley with a shot, and almost picked up the rebound. Nice save by number 27, Aiden Decker. And it's Orlac now, who is cherry picking at the red line, waiting for a pass, but the Falcons preventing anything from breaking loose. 9:01 on the clock, as we've had a few whistles blown. A constant line change. That's a pass by Gorham up ahead to Bryant. And both teams fairly even so far. Denny carrying it through, pass to Masterson. Deflected by number 17, Brookbank. We may hear that name called a handful of times. It's Bryant chasing after on the boards. Harrison and Gorham fighting to keep it in. Gorham in. Bryant shot just over the net. Now Gorham looking for something. Center pass over to Bryant. Bryant has to get forced wide. Now Harrison looking for a wraparound shot, and he doesn't send it in. It looked like it was there, but a nice save by Aiden Decker. And it appeared initially that Harrison had a score, but not called. Hard to see from here, but the referee said no goal. So Decker doing a good job clearing the post. 8:13 on the clock here in the first period. Gorham getting a word from the ref. Bryant at right, Harrison at left. Karnitsky and Beck back on defense. And Yellowjackets working to clear, but picked up by Bryant on the boards. Now Gorham coming to support. Beck trying to keep it in. He'll poke it towards Gorham. Yellowjackets fighting to kick it out, and they do. Now it's going to be a 2-on-1. Karnitsky, the lone defenseman, he's going to pressure and poke it down to the corner. Good job now collected by Beck as he attempts to clear off the boards. Long shot, but deflected off of one of the player bodies. And now it's Bryant. Bryant trying to clear it through. Unable to do as the Yellowjacket poked it out. Now in the hands of Gorham. Gorham carries it in. He's going to get forced outside the shooting lane. Picked up by number 81, Liam Casey. Casey with a head of speed. Casey and Anderson on the attack for the Yellowjackets. And a stick by Karnitsky leads to a Walkenhorst possession. Walkenhorst past the red line. Walkenhorst down low. Benton now with a pass attempt, but collected by the Yellowjackets. Now it's a foot race between Denny and number 89, and we'll have an icing call. That was Herock. Denny and Herock racing to the puck, but that went red line to red line for an icing and stops the clock at 6:46. Not too many whistles so far in this game, and a fairly even match in terms of energy and intensity and possession. We'll face off in the Falcons offensive zone on the spectator side. LeGrand at right wing, Walkenhorst at left, Lurk and Denny back on defense, and Newport will face off against number 17, Brookbank. '96 with possession, Madrow. Madrow up to Herock. Kept in by Denny momentarily, but it's Schmidt. Schmidt with the contest. Now Schmidt will have a clear opportunity. Brookbank shot and score on Armstrong just past his right leg pad as Armstrong was shifting over and left a nice chunk of the net open. And so that was Brookbank to Schmidt, I believe. putting the Yellowjackets up on top for the first score of the game. That comes at 6:30. And we'll bring play now back to the Falcons offensive zone. 6:22 on the clock. So I believe, again, that was a Brookbank with a wrist shot on the opposite side of the net, past Armstrong's blocker. That's Masters clearing it in. Falcons on the forecheck. This is Newport is the F1. He'll chase after number 96. Now it's the Yellowjackets clearing it ahead. And icing. 5:57 now as we'll resume play yet again. This time on the player side of the Falcons offensive zone. Kroniski and Masterson back on defense. Gorham at center, Harrison and Bryant left and right wing respectively. Not a messy game so far. It's Weber carrying it through. Masterson trying to poke it back ahead. Now in the hands of Bryant. Bryant loses it though, and then deflects a pass between two Yellowjackets players. Now the Falcons trying to carry it ahead. Picked up by Kroniski initially. Now in the hands of Gorham. Gorham shifting wide. That gets deflected down. Now the Yellowjackets back on the attack. Kept in by Harrison initially, but kicked out on the other side. We'll have a penalty here as Bryant went down, and I believe that's Bryant actually to the sin bin, and not sure if that was roughing, but the Falcons will find themselves down a player as the Yellowjackets have the first power play of the game and player advantage. Beck working to clear it. Shot, long shot. This one will get pushed wide. Armstrong recovering. Cleared out by Walkenhorst. Now Benton. Benton over to Walkenhorst. And Falcons are now finding themselves back on the defensive as number 2 carries it in for the Yellowjackets. Beck working to get his stick in there as he steals it away down in the corner. And a good defensive effort by Beck as he now shifts into the neutral zone. Now he's into the attacking zone, coast to coast. And the Falcons will have to reset as it's number 4, Anderson. But a good back-checking effort again. Now number 5 looking for a shot. That's a shot. Armstrong with a save, picked up by Beck, and he carries it in front of the net. That was a little dangerous. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. That's a pass over to Weber. Weber will have a clear opportunity, but actually, no. Poked away by Kroniski. A good defensive effort by the Falcons. Correction, that looked like Denny, actually. Number 72, Frank Denny. And Mickley working to clear ahead of the red line. Falcons 12 seconds away from an effective penalty kill. Now in the hands of Hierrock. Hierrock pokes it across the boards. Lurk and Hierrock chasing the puck down in a foot race. That'll get wrapped around on the opposite side of the net. Now 3:46 on the clock. It's full strength as Newport shifts in. So the Falcons have all 5 players on the ice, and Braxton Lurk down. And no penalty called, I believe. But actually the Yellowjackets player also went down, and no penalty called, but a stop and play. That leaves the clock at 3:36 here in the first period.
Let's go check it!
And the Falcons will have to do a better job of getting a couple shots on goal. That one will be number 21 for the Yellowjackets, Schmidt, who had an opportunity and stopped in the shooting lane about midway to the net. He sent one down, but deflected and picked up by the Falcons as they now work again to clear. Falcons have spent a lot more time in their own defensive zone than they have in the past. And we may have an elbowing call as it looked like Luke Masterson was fighting for possession down in the corner, gained possession, but had an elbowing call. And that comes at 3:08, so the Falcons will find themselves down a player again. Beck working to clear, picked up at the point by number 81. Now the Falcons behind their own net. They're working for it. It's Beck who comes away with it. Beck and Gorham breaking out. And a good back-checking effort by the Yellowjackets. Picked up by Gorham, though. Gorham shifts through. Gorham and Harrison. They will lose possession. Kicked away by Kronitsky. Now over to Harrison and then Beck. Beck clearing it through. Orlak will fight for the puck just on the opposite side of Kronitsky. Falcons working for this now. Kronitsky with possession. Kronitsky and Harrison on the attack. They're shifting in. Centering pass over to Harrison up top. And Denny comes through. He poked the puck away. Now it's Gorham. Gorham, as the Yellowjackets were on a line change. Gorham lost that puck to Madro, number 96 for the Yellowjackets. 1:50 remains. 10 seconds left on the penalty here. And loose puck through the shooting lane. Benton working for it. Centering pass. Can't connect. It's full strength. That's another effective penalty kill by the Falcons. It's Xander Bryant now as he comes through. Xander Bryant to Walkenhorst, over to Walkenhorst. Walkenhorst looking for a backhand shot, but a good shift by Aiden Decker. Denny now skating over for it and icing. So the Falcons, who find themselves still down by one score, there's 1:16 left in the first period, will work hard to get a shot off. They haven't had too many. They've had a couple opportunities, but the Yellowjackets doing a good job keeping them at bay. 81 Benton will face off against number 17 Brookbank. Walkenhorst at left, LeGrand at right, and Denny and Lurk back on defense as Denny picks it up and works to fight Brookbank for it. Benton with possession. He'll shift behind the net. Pressure from two Yellowjackets. Pass up ahead to Walkenhorst. Walkenhorst loses it. And Walkenhorst bumps into number 5, Stankiewicz. But no, it's actually Brookbank with the penalty, and the Falcons now have their first power play of the game. That comes with 54 seconds remaining. And that's offsides as the Yellowjackets were carrying it forward shorthanded. Unsure of the penalty call there for number 17 on the Yellowjackets, but either way, this is the Falcons, who have a player advantage for another minute and 5 seconds. 30 seconds left on the clock as time winds down in the first. And the Falcons will have to work to get a shot off as time is winding down. It's Weber facing off against Benton, Walkenhorst at left and Legrand at right. Beck and Kronitsky back on defense. It's Legrand who picks it up. And pass deflected, picked up by Beck. Now in the hands of Benton. Benton shifting ahead. But picked up by the Yellowjackets. Now it's a foot race again, this time number 5. And called, we'll have a tripping call as that was number 15, Gadula, arrived at the puck early and ended up getting tripped down in the corner. And that'll give us a 4-on-4 for 40 seconds. And then the Yellowjackets will have 50 seconds of their own power play in the second period. And that's time. So 1:26 on the clock for the power play to the Yellowjackets, 36 seconds for the Falcons. And both teams will get a 1-minute break to go back and head to the bench and get a word from their coaches. And the scoring recap is at 6:30 in the first. It was number 17, Brookbank, with a wrist shot on the opposite side of the net, past Armstrong's blocker. It was a good shot. Armstrong shifted over just a little too far and left a nice portion of the net open. But I believe that was a 2-on-1, and so a good opportunity for the Yellowjackets nonetheless. We'll open the second period with a 4-on-4. That means it's Mickley, Newport, Lurk, and Masterson on the ice for the Falcons.
Let's go, Jackets! Let's go, Jackets!
Mickley will face off against number 61, Weber. Mickley with possession, back to Lurk. Lurk loses it off the boards, then picked it back up. Now the Yellowjackets trying to clear it over to themselves. Picked up by Masterson. He'll send it over. Mickley now shifting in. Mickley with possession. Mickley may have a shot and stopped by Aiden Decker. And maybe another foot or two, and Mickley may have grabbed the puck and had a shot, but not enough space. 12:32 on the clock in the second, with 9 seconds remaining on the penalty for the Falcons and 9 seconds remaining on the penalty for the Yellowjackets and 59 seconds remaining for the Falcons. That's Weber facing off against Gorham. 4-on-4 for 2 more seconds. Gorham and Weber. Kronitsky, Denny back on defense, and Masters at the wing. Denny ahead to Masters. And Masters shifting in. Now it's the Yellowjackets as they look to bring it ahead past the red line. And cleared, dumped down deep into the Falcons' territory. Both teams working for it. It's 3 black jerseys on 1 white. And it appears it's the white who have it. And that was a shot, but wide to the right. Now 82. Pass ahead to 81. Shot up top. That's going to get deflected off the leg of Denny. Masters to Gorham. Gorham going over. Gorham now wide. Gorham with a backhand attempt. And that's an effective penalty kill for both teams as Aiden Decker smothers the puck as it just slided low and slow, or slid. .11:21 on the clock here in the second period. Too many men called as it looks like the Yellowjackets have 6 on the ice. And as there have been 4 penalties already, that will give us the 5th. It appears that they're letting it go. The referees are conversed with each other, and now they're talking to head coaches on the Falcons side. They appear to be letting the too many men penalty go. So it's even strength right now. And Harrison using his famous wraparound attempt. Couldn't squeeze it through traffic. Now 21, Joseph Schmidt trying to carry it out, but picked up by Beck on a good effort on the boards. Now Gorham deflecting. Beck trying to grab it past 21. Picked up by Lurk. Lurk loses it. It's going to be dangerous now as it's an opportunity for the Yellowjackets. And a pass down. We've got a player down on the ice. Unfortunately, this looks like number 89, Miles Hirock. And he looks to be in a lot of pain, unfortunately. So we'll see if he can get up on his own power. We certainly hope so. Time on the clock is 10:41 in the second period. So Miles Hirock, we called his name a time or two. Still down on the ice. Looked like he was writhing in pain, but we'll see if that was just temporary. It appears that it is. He's up, holding his side, it seems. He should be fine. And the Yellowjackets, who already have 12 players on the roster compared to the Falcons 14, they find themselves down another, and so low on gas at the end of the game, certainly. And that leaves us with a face-off here in the neutral zone on the spectator side. It is full strength. It's 17 Brookbank facing off against Benton. And now the Yellowjackets working to clear it ahead, but it's Benton who has a little bit of space. He's going to look for a pass ahead, but smothered up by Aiden Decker as Benton was shifting toward the net, and it was deflected by the Yellowjackets on a good defensive effort there. And a good opportunity for the Falcons, but again, can't get a shot on net, which seems to be the case for both teams. They've just been fighting for it like crazy. And this is Orlock. He's pushing ahead. Sticked away by Denny. Shot. That's going to be Armstrong, who leaves the net way open as he was shifting over. Shot by Madrow. Armstrong will have to adjust. He does. Picked up by Masterson in the corner. Up ahead now to Benton. Kept in at the point, but kicked out by Walkenhorst. Walkenhorst will make it his way through. Walkenhorst kicks it forward. Now it's Legrand chasing it at the top of the point. That's past the blue line. But Stankiewicz, number 5, poked away by Denny with a good stick. Legrand now into the neutral zone. And the Yellowjackets will carry it ahead. It's Brookbank with a pass to wrap it around the boards. Masterson. Oh, saved by Armstrong. Somehow, not sure, it looked like number 15, Padula, was going to shift behind the net and decided to do a wraparound on the same side he entered. And a save by Armstrong as he was able to get his leg pad back over. Not sure if one of the Falcons were able to assist one of the players, but either way, no score. That's good for the Falcons. And number 61, Weber, facing off against Mickley. Masters on the boards. He'll kick it up, and that'll go untouched for an icing call. That stops the clock at 9 at the refs blow the whistle. Krenitsky and Lurk back on defense. Mickley giving a little shove to Casey. Not sure what that was, or if they just bumped into each other on accident. Newport over at the wing. That's Krenitsky firing it over toward to Masters. Now it's Newport. Newport with a little bit of space. It was a 3-on-1. Masters firing it toward the net, but picked up by number 81. That was Casey. Mickley now with possession. Mickley with 2 white jerseys all over him behind the net as they try to carry it out. Kept in by Lurk at the point somehow. Now the Yellowjackets on the attack, but Newport. Pass over to Krenitsky. Krenitsky and Weber bump into each other. Newport with his stick in on the action, and that was number 2, Seaworth, bumping into a Falcon player. 81 looking for a shot attempt. That's going to be Armstrong diving down on it just at the outside section of the crease. 8:01 on the clock in the second period. Falcons now find themselves in the defensive zone as Gorham will face off against number 17, Brookbank. Harrison and Bryant at wing. Denny and Beck on defense as Beck worked to carry it out. Now it's Bryant. Bryant with maybe a little bit of space. Pressure by number 5. Shot toward the net, but that was just off the side. Now another shot and saved by Aiden Decker. And this is a nice even match. We like to see games like this. 7:40 on the clock now as Aiden Decker makes another save on a puck that was sliding low and slow toward the net. This is Gorham winning the faceoff. Pass to Beck, now to Harrison. Harrison on the boards. Gorham shifting over to support. Gorham forcing the puck toward Harrison. Harrison now in the corner. He has possession. Harrison, he's going to look for a wraparound, as he likes to do. And Harrison goes down. We may have a tripping call as Brookbank will head to the penalty box again. So number 17 gives the Falcons a player advantage.
Let's go, Jackets!
Falcons, Xander Bryant looking for a shot. He slid one down, but deflected by traffic. Now it's Beck. Beck off the skate of Gorham. And the Yellowjackets trying to clear, but picked up by Beck and passed to Gorham. Gorham with a backhand shot. Pass was just wide. Now Denny finds himself back checking into the neutral zone, and the Falcons pick up the loose puck. It's Beck who will carry it ahead. Beck fires it down deep. 1 minute remaining on the power play. Harrison with possession on the boards. He'll kick it back down to the corner to Gorham. Gorham looking for something. He's going to shift over. No, poked away from behind on a nice defensive effort. Now it's Xander Bryant. Xander Bryant kicking it off the boards to himself, but that's offsides as Gorham crossed the blue line first. And the Falcons have 38 seconds remaining with the player advantage. They'll face off here on the spectator side in the neutral zone. That brings another line change as LeGrand will sit at right. Benton at center will face off against number 61 Weber for the Yellowjackets. Walkenhorst at left. Masterson and Krenitsky back on defense. That's LeGrand, who will fire one way past the blue line and smothered by Aiden Decker. Stops the clock at 6:15. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Krenitsky, Masterson, Walkenhorst, Benton, and LeGrand. LeGrand over to Masterson. Masterson shot off the body of 61 Weber, the center for the Yellowjackets. And Masterson into the neutral zone, picked up by Benton. 3-on-2. Benton now into the shooting lane. LeGrand with a shot opportunity. LeGrand was stick handling, but it looked like it was maybe poked away. Kept in by Masterson. Long sliding shot, and Decker with another save. And that leaves the Falcons with 4 seconds remaining on the player advantage. Falcons will send out Masters, Mickley at center, Newport at left, Masterson and Krenitsky back on defense. And this time number 21, Schmidt, will face off against Mickley. Mickley poked it to the corner, and now he's got possession behind the net, but it's the Yellowjackets who are breaking away, and they're full strength as well. And this is 81 looking for a shot, but a nice stick. And oh no, that was deflected just in front of Armstrong and picked up by the Yellowjackets. That's a score at 5:30. And it may be number 81 who is credited with that one. So the Falcons now find themselves at a 2-point deficit. May have been number 81, Casey, to pick up the loose puck on the net as Armstrong was shifting over. Shot and saved by Armstrong. Gut trap. It is an even strength game. 2-0 as the Falcons find themselves down. It's Padula and Lurk fighting for possession down in the corner. Now Masters shifting through the neutral zone. Picked up by Lurk. Pass to Mickley, but off Mickley's skate. Now in the hands of number 21. 21 will look for a shot. He's forced wide. And the defensive pressure, no. Picked up by number 2. Seward with a shot. And save. Stuck in the blocker of Armstrong. Somehow ended up in his arm. And that gives both teams an opportunity to bring in fresh legs. And unsure if Hirok is back in the game, number 89. 12 players on the ice for the Yellowjackets, 14 on the ice for the Falcons. So that may, hand pass and picked up by, gloved by Gorham, and as he was making an aware play, but it's Orlock now. In the air again is Masterson. Picked up the puck. Now Weber, pass ahead to number 4, Anderson. Picked up by Gorham. Now back to Madro. Madro ahead. Number 5 clears it in deep in Falcons territory. Masterson looking for a clear path forward. Over to Gorham, then to Bryant. Bryant accepting the pass from Gorham as he faced some pressure. And Gorham trying to glove that one again. Falcons will find themselves back in their own defensive zone. This time it's Masterson ahead to Bryant. Bryant, Harrison, 2-on-2. And Bryant trying to shift into the shooting lane, but poked away by the Yellowjackets. 3:40 remains here in the second period. Padula with possession. Bryant chasing after just to his left. And Padula's down, not sure what happened. And he's holding his face mask. But it may be a high stick call as Xander Bryant is heading to the sin bin. or roughing. The commentator does not know. So a minute and a half on the power play for the Yellowjackets. 3:30 on the clock. Here in the second, Armstrong will certainly face another shot or two. Although the Falcons, if they have anything to say about it, they'll keep this puck clear. They've had a couple good penalty kills so far in this tournament. Kept in, though, somehow by the Yellowjackets. Now in the hands of Krnitsky. Krnitsky over to Legrand. Legrand shoots it through. Legrand off one of the bodies of the Yellowjackets. Now Seaworth shifting in. Seaworth looking to get an attack going. And cleared. No, just danced on the blue line. Oh, and a blocker saved by Armstrong with a nice shot by the Yellowjackets. Centering pass picked up by Krnitsky. Krnitsky trying to carry this one forward. Legrand over to support. 3 white jerseys on 2 black. And Benton trying to clear it out. He'll get that done. 37 seconds remains. Benton will dump it deep. And the Falcons now find themselves on a little bit of an attacking effort, though there's a line change now as Walkenhorst is in. Beck as well. Beck with possession. Beck will face some pressure as he spun around. Beck trying to clear it out. That's to Walkenhorst now. It's a 2-on-2. Walkenhorst and Mickley on the attack. Mickley just barely skinned that puck, and that's sent in by Lurk as he was in on a line change and leads to an offsides call as Walkenhorst was unable to reset past the blue line. 2:09 remains in the second period with 9 seconds left on this power play for the Yellowjackets. So they do have a player advantage, but Falcons able to pour it on and do a good job defensively. Newport shifting in. Newport shorthanded shot. That's going to be a blocker save by Aiden. And another shot at a tough angle by Newport. Beck shifting over. Picked up by Brookbank. Brookbank shot. That's going to go wide. Armstrong will have to come back over. Even strength now is 5-on-5 as Masterson chases the puck behind the net. Brookbank clearing it the other way. Now Masters up ahead, but past the point by number 82. And not sure if this was touched. No, the referee says as he blows the whistle. It stops the clock at 1:25. That'll bring us 200 feet in the opposite direction to face off in the Falcons' defensive zone as time continues to wind down, and that brings another line change. Gorham at center, Bryan at right, Harrison at left, Denny and Krnitsky back on defense. Brookbank will face off opposite of Gorham. And not sure if I've seen number 89 Hirok in for the Yellowjackets. I hope he's okay, as he was down on an injury. 3 Falcons players in a tough spot there as they came up to the point. Armstrong waiting for a potential wraparound as he's well aware of what his teammates like to do. Gorham was chasing down at the point. Gorham all over the ice right now. Gorham with possession now. He'll clear it ahead. Gorham now in a foot race with number 81, Casey. And unfortunately can't get there ahead of the red line. And that'll lead to another offsides call. Gorham against Weber. Same line for the Falcons. Shot at the point, picked up by, looks like that was picked up by number 91, Lurk. That's called deflected, picked up by Harrison. Harrison's going to look for something behind the net. He's trying to kick it to himself. Beck squeezing in. Beck now fires off the boards. Gorham over to help. Gorham shifting into the shooting lane, but the Yellowjackets clear it out into the neutral zone. And Lurk, pass over to Beck. Nice passing. Beck up ahead to Gorham, then to Harrison, but just missed. And Lurk shifting through. And that pass will be intercepted by the Yellowjackets. It's Hirok now who's back on the ice, so that's a good sign that he's doing well. But Yellowjackets unable to connect as that pass was past the red line and brings another icing call. 8 seconds remains here in the second period. And the Falcons still find themselves down 2 points. Yellowjackets do have an insurance lead, and the Falcons will hope to cut into that as time winds down here. And there's 6 on the ice, so the Falcons have pulled their goalie. And 3 seconds remaining, 14 with a shot, but picked up by number 92 Masterson as he shot and kind of hit the body of Schmidt, but that was certainly unintentional. And Armstrong will head back to the net and give a fist bump to Aiden Decker. Coach is giving a word to the Falcons and for the Yellowjackets. And Masterson giving a little bit of a word of advice to Parker Armstrong. And 13 on the clock as we've got a fresh set of digits to open the third. It's Benton who will face off against Schmidt. Walkenhorst at left, LeGrand at right, Denny and Masterson back on defense, but it's going to be a 3-on-2 as the Yellowjackets were shifting through. 21 looking for a shot in traffic, and Armstrong with a save. And the Yellowjackets trying to pick away a rebound, but Armstrong preventing that, and that's a heads up as that shot by Schmidt through traffic was potentially dangerous. 12:43 on the clock as the whistle was blown. And LeGrand will come over to support on net side. Still the same line as before. Schmidt versus Benton. That's won by Benton and kicked over to Masterson. Masterson attempted to clear, but the Yellowjackets fired it around the boards. Now Walkenhorst through the neutral zone. Walkenhorst loose puck. And he's still searching for possession. And up to Benton was a pass by Walkenhorst to Benton with a little one-timer, but that was just deflected. And a good back-checking effort. Now it's the Falcons on the attack again. Denny swinging wide. Denny looking for something. Picked up by LeGrand. Shot off the body of Decker, and Decker with a nice glove save. .12:02 on the clock here in the third. Mickley facing off against Brookbank. Beck unable to maintain possession of that puck as it just squiggled across the blue line. Now the Yellowjackets are attempting to clear yet again. Falcons back checking, but Beck grabs the puck and sends it through, and Newport not able to get on sides. Leads to another face-off here on the Yellowjackets bench. It's Mickley in at center now as he faces off against Brookbank. Newport at left. Masters at right. Kranitsky and Beck on defense. And loose puck will be picked up by Brookbank. It's a 2 potential player advantage, but quickly dispelled by the Falcons. Although that's a sliding shot and deflected by one of the skates of the Falcons players, it appears. And Masters shifting through by the net, a little close for the commentators liking. But that's all right. And a pass ahead to Anderson will go loose to the corner and called icing. And the Falcons need to get a shot on net. They've had just a handful. They've got to get something going here. Bryant shifting through to the perimeter. Takes it off the boards. Now Harrison behind the net. Harrison grabbing it. Harrison looking for a wraparound. Loose puck. And unfortunately, not collected by the Falcons as they now find themselves back on the attack. But see where offsides as number 15 was carrying it in. Padula. And Falcons will face off near their own bench. 10:42 in the third. Weber facing off against Gorham. Actually, it's Brookbank now versus Gorham. Bryant at right, Harrison at left. Lurk and Masterson back on defense. Harrison brings it through. Harrison looking for a shot. That's a shot. That's up and in. Wrist shot past the right shoulder pad of Aiden Decker. That comes at 10:32 in the third.
Come on, Jackets, get it back. Let's go.
And that's the shot they were looking for. That was a nice wrist shot to the top left corner. Bryant picking it through. Falcons back in their own offensive zone. But it's Schmidt with possession, and it'll be a 3-on-2 until the Falcons can get back to support. That's sent over, and Lurk finds himself behind the Falcons net. Now it's Bryant and Harrison and Gorham cleared through and picked up by number 81, Casey. Casey making a pass attempt, but Gorham now looking for something. Shot, and Harrison now in the opposite corner. Harrison will look for something else, and he attempts to get something going through traffic, but pressured by either side. Couldn't get anything to materialize. Falcons now just working for clear possession. It's Gorham with a centering pass, but no Falcon to accept. Now Yellowjackets shifting through. Masterson picks it up. Pass to Bryant. Bryant dumps it back into their attacking zone. Yellowjackets clear and got to go the length of the ice. And Lurk actually, no, called, tipped off. And the Falcons on a line change as Lurk was working to clear that out. They picked it up in the neutral zone. Now the Falcons are on the defensive. It's Denny in the corner, as he was looking for a backhand pass and wasn't able to connect on it. And both teams fighting for it down in the corner. Now Lurk again. Lurk working to clear through. We may have a penalty called, not sure. Yes, that's Denny. Denny to the sin bin, and Falcons find themselves down a player for a minute and a half. Not sure what the penalty call was, but either way, it's a 5-on-4 player advantage for the Yellowjackets. And that was Beck picking the puck up just on the wrong side of the blue line, as it was Walkenhorst still in the attacking zone. A minute 17 remains on the power play for the Yellowjackets, as Brookbank will face off against Mickley. Masters at left, Krenetsky and Beck back on defense. Mickley actually winning that face-off and carrying it ahead into the attacking zone. Mickley chasing down into the corner, but Yellowjackets with possession. And they'll wrap it around the boards, and Krenetsky working to keep it in. That's a pass from one Yellowjacket to another, but picked up by Beck. Beck passed to Masters, then tipped over to, actually that was Mickley to Masters, now to Beck. Beck in the neutral zone, and loose puck will be picked up by Walkenhorst. Actually, no, correction, Krenetsky. Masters working to bring this one ahead. Actually, Beck will need to grab this puck, but it should be icing, and it is. That leaves the Yellowjackets with 34 seconds remaining on the power play, 7:50 on the clock in the third. And the Falcons, if they can maintain this gap or score, Gorham facing off against Weber, kicked it over to the boards, but picked up by the Yellowjackets, who had that extra player. But they find themselves again chasing the puck to their own zone, but left with another icing call. So we'll head 200 feet in the opposite direction, and Aiden Decker and company will maybe see a shorthand shot if the Falcons have their way. Weber versus Gorham, Newport at right, Lurk and Masterson back on defense. And picked up by Lurk. Lurk crossing the blue line, and another offsides. Newport will shift out and Harrison in. Gorham at center. Actually, Harrison will go to right wing. And Yellowjackets working for possession in the neutral zone right now. 10 seconds remains on the power play, and Falcons will look to stop any attack here, as it does appear there's a shot, and Armstrong with a save just off his blocker. And so a nice power play shot, but it's going to be Xander Bryant with some time and space. Breakaway shot and score! Past the blocker brings the Falcons tie game. That comes at 6:58.
Let's go, Jackets. Get it back, guys. Let's go. Your game, Jackets. Let's go, guys.
Brookbank first Gorham on that face-off at center. Picked up by Kernitsky, pass ahead to Harrison, but untouched, which means we'll face off in the Falcons' defensive zone, and the Yellowjackets will have an opportunity to attack. Kernitsky and Beck back on defense, but a line change will see Gorham, Bryan, and Harrison to the bench. Walkenhorst, LeGrand, and Benton. Benton will face off against Brookbank. Spectator side here in the Falcons defensive zone, and picked up by Anderson and shot, but that was off another Yellowjacket skate. And Kernitsky carrying it through. Kernitsky pass over to LeGrand. Actually, that was Benton. And picked up by Beck. Beck carrying it over. Beck with a heads-up play to wait for the Falcons to reset. But Beck will find himself now on the defensive as Brookbank has a clear possession. Brookbank with a sliding shot. Armstrong will make a little save. But a good defensive effort by Beck to force Brookbank to the outer edge and a tough angle, and on a backhand shot, couldn't get enough power on it. 6:24, a nice opportunity for the Yellowjackets. So a tie game. Oh, and I just realized we are in the third period, so I'll correct the scoreboard there. But 6 minutes remains in the third. Long shot, lost almost in traffic, and Armstrong shifting over. They're looking for a wraparound shot, but the Falcons stymie that. And no penalty called. It looked like Benton was caught up a little bit. It's Benton and Lurk. And shot. And no score. That must have been off the top shelf. Must have been off the crossbar. Walkenhorst with a dangerous backhand shot as Lurk was over to support. And a nice adjustment by the goalie, Aiden Decker, as he stood up on that one. It may have been off of Decker, not sure. 5:44 remains. Newport up ahead now. Mickley bringing it over. Mickley was looking for a shot, but a nice defensive effort by Stankiewicz. Now Masters pressuring Mickley over to support. Masters still looking for possession, but it's the Yellowjackets now will find themselves a 2-on-1, and they'll look for a shot. That's going to be a shot, and save by Armstrong off his skate. And one of the Yellowjackets players getting up a little slow. Hopefully he's okay. That appears to be number 21 holding his side. That's Schmidt. Schmidt's coming off the ice now. 96 looking for an attack. It appears the Yellowjackets may have used a little bit of their energy. Now it's Stankiewicz looking for a shot. That's going to go just wide though, and picked up by Masterson. Masterson spinning around as there was pressure to his right. Masterson off the boards. That's going to get picked up by the Yellowjackets. Pressure by Kernitsky. No, Yellowjackets still possession down in the corner. Mickley trying to prevent something from getting in front of the net. Now Masterson working to clear, but kept in by 96. Long sliding shot, and Armstrong deflects back behind the net, or it was wide. Number 4, Anderson working to clear through. Armstrong waiting over, and Armstrong stopping this puck from going in. And they were pressuring Armstrong, and heads up job by Armstrong to prevent that as the Yellowjackets were working for a rebound opportunity. But that's what you do down low until the whistle's blown. 4:02 in the third. Both teams, the name of the game is goalie work and just getting shots on the net, as it seems to be evenly matched one team to the other. That was Beck over to Denny, and the Yellowjackets fighting to keep it in. Bryant working to clear it out, as well as Gorham. Bryant, Harrison. They can't keep the attack on as the Yellowjackets had an effective back-checking effort, but no. Back now to Bryant in the corner. Bryant centering pass over to Harrison. Now Gorham looking for a shot. Loose puck down low. Yellowjackets push to the edge. Bryant with a centering pass attempt, but that was deflected. Now it's Denny forcing one of these players over. Armstrong trying to stop a wraparound shot, and Armstrong making a save with his left leg pad as he was closing off the post. It was initially off his pad, and he removed it. It bounced over, so Armstrong had to smother up the rebound opportunity. 3:11 remains on the clock. 2 Falcons, 2 Yellowjackets. Gorham poke over. That was to Harrison. Stankiewicz with a shot at the point, and the Falcons must smell blood in the waters. They seem to be turning it on and giving a little bit of extra energy. I think they want to close this one out. Of course, they came down from a 2-0 deficit. Yellowjackets with a couple early opportunities, and the Falcons just evening the score in the third period. Yellowjackets bringing it in. Seward pass over toward Brookbank, but lost in traffic. Now it's Walkenhorst. Walkenhorst with possession into the neutral zone. He'll pass to himself, but tied up by Stankiewicz. Now the Falcons find themselves back in the offensive zone on the forecheck. Picked up by LeGrand. No, just lost. LeGrand off the boards, and Brookbank trying to exit, but picked up by LeGrand again. LeGrand pass ahead, but Walkenhorst unable to collect the puck. Now Walkenhorst to Benton, but intercepted by Stankiewicz. Stankiewicz on the attack. He'll enter. He's pushed wide. Stankiewicz will work for something, but deflected. Now that's a pass out to the neutral zone and picked up by Benton. Benton up to the red line. He dumps it in deep. 1:50 remains here in the third period. line change now as Krenitsky, Newport, and Mickley are all on the ice. And a good effort there as it's poked away. And now Krenitsky with possession. Krenitsky stopped at the blue line. He'll send one down and smothered by Aiden Becker, as that's technically a shot on goal by Krenitsky up top. 1:37 in the third. So it was Krenitsky who worked for a shot and stopped. It's Newport to Krenitsky on the boards. Krenitsky will send it back down to the corner. Masters waiting and assessing. Pass over to Newport. Newport with a centering pass attempt, but off one of the bodies for the Yellowjackets. Oh, you're not in it. Oh. It looks like a stop by Decker. 1:14 on the clock. You know, we won't go to overtime, will we? You know? No? Yeah. It's okay. Gorham at center, facing off against Brookbank yet again. Pass over to Harrison. And it's Anderson who has cleared it through. He's on the attack. Harrison pressuring to his right. He's forcing him out. And Armstrong with a save. And Yellowjackets coming through looking for a rebound, but no such one exists. 1 minute remains for the game. It could be one shot that ends it all, or we'll just clear this in a tie. Gorham versus Brookbank yet again. It's dead silent. Falcons trying to clear, but kept in at the point. Deflected. Now it's the Falcons on the attack in the neutral zone. It's Xander Bryant who was looking to get something going, but lost possession. Dangerous. Uh-oh, it's Anderson looking for a shot. Armstrong, and not sure if that was deflected by Armstrong's glove, but that was a shot toward the net. Anderson looking for another shot. That's through traffic. Deflected by Armstrong on the blocker. 30 seconds remains. Anderson with another shot. Falcons trying to clear. It's Gorham through. No, now it's Gorham and Bryant. Bryant, he'll look for possession. 20 seconds remains. And Bryant goes down, and so does Schmidt. Schmidt's holding himself. Unfortunately, looks like he's in a little bit of pain, as well as Bryant. Bryant unintentionally tripped Schmidt. Of course, it wasn't meant to be, but he'll head to the bench on a power play. That likely means that the Yellowjackets will clear their goalie as well and have a 6-on-4. Crowd cheering on number 21, Schmidt, who hit his head against the boards pretty hard. We'll hope that he's doing okay. And the Falcons will face a lot of pressure to close the game out. And the Yellowjackets not pulling their goalie for the last 17 seconds. So it's a 5-on-4 advantage. Anderson working for possession down in the corner, as well as a couple Falcons jerseys. Too many Falcons down in one spot. 5 seconds remains. They're just attempting to maybe to smother it and stop the clock from... And they do. They stop the clock, but a penalty called. No, I don't think that will matter. And we'll see. It was actually a penalty called by the referee on one of the players. I don't think that it matters, though, as we may not be heading to overtime. So this is a tie game. And both teams will congratulate each other. A very even game. Both teams with not many opportunities, as the effort was all on defense and possession. So just a quick scoring recap. It was the correction, not the Flyers, but rather the Yellowjackets who opened scoring in the first. A wrist shot by number 17 Brookbank, and then it was a goal, I think, again by Brookbank in the second at 5:30 on the clock. Falcons didn't even open up their own scoring until the third when Maxwell Harrison had a wrist shot at 10:30. That went to the top left corner. And then Xander Bryant with another one at 6:58. That was a wrist shot past the blocker mid-height on the net. And today's Friday, December 5th, 2025 at the Iceland Sports Complex on the South Rink. This is a tournament game for the Louisville Slugger hockey tournament by Big Bear here in Louisville, Kentucky. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.